Now, to talk further more about this, we have with our senior security analyst, Dr. CISSAJK, who to share her insight about EU envoy's remarks endorsing Pakistan's stand on TTP presence in Afghanistan. Dr. Asma, we know that Afghanistan has been doing some really ugly work, and that has been getting exposed on the global platform as well. What's your take on that?
Definitely, we all know that this is not a new thing for Afghanistan. The policies of Taliban government and the situation in Afghanistan is creating instability in the region and in the world, and they are a problem which the world has now learned to deal with and how to tackle them. So Afghanistan or diplomatic reputation for Taliban is not a matter of concern, because if it would be, their human rights violation and the way they are pursuing their revisionist strategies and providing themselves as an available proxy to fight for any interests, that would not be the case. As you know, yesterday there were different revelation from different quarters in the West that how Afghans were hired by Israel to spy for Mossad. So I think reputation is not their problem, because they did it against Iran, against Pakistan, and against Afghanistan. But for Pakistan being a responsible state actor, it is a bright sign that a country with the repute like Denmark, which has a very good repute in international politics and it's not been indulged in any great game or violent activities, has the courage to openly come up and state their concerns about the growing capabilities of Taliban to perpetrate violence in the larger region and areas. So that is commendable, and I think whole civilized world, the conscious community, should follow Denmark and to raise their voice before it would be too late. Right now, as I always say, right now it is Pakistan, later on it would be some other country, but this cycle of violence would keep moving. And that is what international community has to stop. They have to break this cycle. And breaking this cycle needs a comprehensive, unified strategy to not to make Afghanistan as the instability flashpoint for the world. Because prior, as I always say, that when Al Qaeda was creating problems in the region, the US was or the West was not concerned, because it was not burning their homes. But the day 9/11 happened, then even after that setback, that accident, that incident, that terrorism, West realized that how fatal and how dangerous can be the Al Qaeda and the people, Taliban, who are harboring them. So this time, maybe world. West need to to understand that before it would be too late, they need to take action. They need to speak up. They need to speak up for the innocent people who are whose right to live has been snatched away by the violent ideology of Taliban and such massive non-state actors. We all know that international community and the West, they don't recognize Taliban as a legitimate government of Afghanistan. So why are they afraid? Why they can't take or they can't manifest the courage
Here, I'm so sorry
like
to interrupt, but the thing is this, that we're talking about the external pressure coming down on the Afghan Talibans. Now, don't you think that the Afghan Talibans, they need to understand this, they need to realize this, that they are acting as a proxy of India, and we all know what Indian agenda is, what India has been doing, all those cross-border terrorism activities that India has been trying so hard to inflict on Pakistan, but Pakistan has been standing so strengthened up in all this. Don't you think that this is the time for the Afghan Talibans to understand and realize that their people, they deserve peace as well? The long-awaited peace that Pakistan had been talking about, the long-awaited peace that Pakistan had been eyeing for the Afghan people, and Pakistan has always, not to forget this, Pakistan has always worked as and wished for peace in Afghanistan. Pakistan has been hosting the Afghan refugees for a very very long time as well. Don't you think that the Afghan Taliban need to realize all these things in this situation?
The rightly pointed out, very rightly pointed out that I would like to add that when the ambassador, Her Excellency, she was speaking all this at this esteemed forum. She could have mentioned those countries who are supporting Taliban to act as their proxies. So India's name should be there. But let me devil's advocate. Taliban are providing themselves as an available proxy in the market to India, and with the promises, and maybe their job contract is that India would provide them logistical, financial, and diplomatic support if they would bleed Pakistan. So this is their contract with India. But we have to see that what Taliban have actually done to create jobs, revive economy, politics, diplomacy in Afghanistan? The answer is nothing. So when they are not capable to lead Afghanistan as per the civilized world or the norms of civilized world, what else options they have? They have only this option to present themselves as a proxy. Those who can pay for it, they can use them without the slightest slightest, I would say, definition of ideology in it, because ideology is only is of survival through fair or unfair means for Taliban. So yes, India is right now the only country in the world, and maybe Israel, who are supporting Taliban and want to utilize them for their own respective national interests and to target those so-called threats, those India and Israel perceive as threats for their evil designs or strategic designs. So yes, Taliban are available, and anyone who can pay for it, they pay for them, they can hire them against any country, regardless of the ideological or religious leanings.
Exactly. Senior security analyst Dr. Asma Shakir Khwaja was with us, and she was sharing her a detailed in-depth analysis on the subject matter. Thank you so much for giving us your time.